Political history has unfolded in the United States this morning. For the first time in more than a century, a US House Speaker has been ousted from his job. Let's bring in Annalise Nielsen. She's been watching things unfold. So enough in the end when it comes to the tally, Annalise, to remove him or declare the seat vacant anyway. What happens now?
Yeah, look, somewhat ironically, Nancy Pelosi wasn't present for the vote because she's at the funeral of Dianne Feinstein in California. So we have hit the numbers, 8 Republicans voting against Kevin McCarthy. This makes him the first speaker in over a century to be ousted from his seat and the shortest serving since 1876. Now, the reason we're so focused on this is a powerful role within the US government. In the line of succession after the president, if they ever become incapacitated, it goes to the vice president and then the speaker. They're the voice of the House. They decide what legislation can hit the floor, when it can happen, who gets committee assignments, all those really important things that make Washington run. And Kevin McCarthy's just been ousted for no one. This is going to leave an empty seat now, and this is going to just reignite the issues with the Republicans. They have the majority in the House, but they can't make a decision among themselves. The only reason Kevin McCarthy was in that seat in the first place was because Democrats were supporting him. Today, they withdrew that support. They say in large part because he was blaming Democrats for a lot of issues while privately courting their support to get legislation over the line. But where does this leave us? The US government only has another 45 days funding. It goes up until November 22nd. After that, I'll have to agree on something or the government shuts down.
OK, yeah, so you've got 45 days. So at the moment, with no House Speaker, how does the government govern?
That's the question. They'll have to go to a vote for the Speaker. The obvious alternative for Kevin McCarthy has been Scalise from Louisiana. He's the Republican leader of the majority. He hasn't wanted to take over this role yet by his public commentary, and indeed he spoke in favour of Kevin McCarthy and leaving him where he was. If you were an astute observer of the politics in the House of Representatives at the moment, you probably wouldn't want to pick up this role at the moment because you'd be the next to get rolled. And look how hard it was for Kevin McCarthy to get there in the first place. He had to go through 15 rounds of voting to get his party to agree to give him the spot. So who's going to put their hand up for that?
I mean, it's a good point when you make. I mean, the power of the House Speaker, the third, in line, if we can put it that way, if the president becomes incapacitated, I mean, he's 80 years old. I mean, that could happen. If we're thinking the worst here at some point, that could happen. And then it goes to Kamala Harris and then, oh man, that sparks up a whole chain of events that we've never seen before. But anyway, Annalise, we'll have to leave it there.